Hi, and welcome to my channel, What's Good on TV. My name is Nicole, and I'm down here to give my review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Bunkin' Beds, and Button Heads. So, first, I'm going to say this was a okay episode. Sometimes I judge episodes by how often I look at my watch or hit the fast forward button. And so, I did look at my watch about 3 times, but there was some good stuff that happened in here. So actually, I'm not going to go detail by detail. Just going to kind of hit the stuff that I thought was a little bit interesting. When we picked back up with the ladies, they were on their way down to Lake Norman so that they could. It's Mia's trip, but they're also going to be celebrating Wendy's birthday while they're there, and they're in 3 different cars. And so we're back in the car with Karen and Mia is trying to get Karen to talk about her charges, which don't make any sense because why would you do that before you go to court? That wouldn't make sense. Um, but Mia also shares with Miss Karen that the girls and her, they done got together and had a conversation and decided that they find Stacy boring. She says Stacy is boring. And I was like, the nerve. The nerve. Who? Which of these ladies says she boring? Ashley? What's Ashley's story? What's Giselle's story? What do you know? Who is saying she's boring? And I guess Mia would think she's boring because, everybody can't have a husband and a boyfriend. So actually Stacy does have a husband and a boyfriend, but she ain't got a stipe. They have more in common than they think. So Giselle and Wendy and somebody else. Oh, Jacqueline was they were in a car together. And Jacqueline is trying to get it started. She's trying to start talking about the Grand Dame, trying to talk about Karen and Giselle, she's here for whatever. She's let's talk. And Wendy kind of puts her church finger up and she's like, Karen isn't here to defend herself, so we're going to squash that. And I'm like, okay, all right. And Giselle went right along with it. I'm thinking, I don't know what's happening in this new day of Potomac. In the other car, we have JC and Kiana, which I'm not sure I'm saying her name, Kiana and Ashley. And they're talking about relationships and men and how long you've been with your man. Okay, I like older men. Okay, I'm with somebody my age now. Whatever. The thing that was interesting to me about that conversation is they talked about kind of the roles they're playing. And, I'm of a different age, but Kiana, some of these young women, y'all are almost auditioning for a partnership. And you want to make sure that you are getting as much as you are giving. So you and this man who has not made a commitment to you, not a legal commitment, not a binding commitment, y'all are building a house together. Karen shares that she has her own business. It's a med spa. It's running itself. A business that runs itself into the ground, or whoever's running it is, taking a little too much. So you might want to watch that. But she's also helping her man build up his business, which is some kind of mental health agency. And they show us a little clip of that, where he has referred to her as an employee, but she calls herself the chief executive officer. Okay. So, but again, just make sure you're getting as much as you're giving. Because I'm telling you, there are some men out there, they will use up all your life. Some people will use up all of your life and feel entitled to it. So you got to make sure you're looking out. But anyway, we then see the ladies. They get to the house, a gorgeous house, beautiful house. And Mia has made sure that everybody has their own personal assistant assigned to them. And Giselle's like, yes, this is how I'm supposed to be treated. Like she used to that. But so they do the thing where they all go around to the rooms, and they spared us the scene of women running to rooms, snatching them up, claiming them like they don't get to go nowhere, because the rooms are already assigned, and they just kind of like leisurely, oh my God, look at your room. Oh my God, look at your room. We also find out that Karen and Giselle their rooms are near each other, and they're going to have to share a bathroom. And Karen is, being hysterical, like, oh my God, I don't want to share a bathroom. And I'm like, oh, please, you're not going to convince me that you have spent your whole life and haven't had to share a bathroom. Now, if you had to share a room, I understand, because you do get a certain age and you like, I need a little bit of privacy, but you can share a bathroom. But When Giselle got into her confessional and she said, I'm going to pee on the seat, I'm going to pee on the toilet seat. I cracked up. I laughed. That's not appropriate. That's not funny, but I did laugh a little bit. I did laugh. And I said, Giselle, don't make me like you. But she said, yeah, I'm going to pee on the toilet seat. And that's going to show her. I said, okay, Giselle. um, We see Wendy has a nice room. It's decorated for her birthday with balloons and everything. And the grand dame is, hating a little bit, acting real sour about it because she says all her birthdays are jacked up with these ladies. And they show us some flashbacks. And yes, they were all, something happened that they were well intended, but went left, and so she's acting like she's put out with how well Wendy's birthday is going and how much they are kind of putting out for her birthday. We see Jacqueline. Jacqueline is looking for her bedroom, and she's, where's my bedroom? Surely my best girl. Mia has put Jacqueline in her bedroom, and the other ladies are like, ooh, because they had been conversations before when they were traveling that Jacqueline was actually Mia's sidekick, but it actually sounded like side chick, but then they cleaned it up and said side chick. And, they are giving a little bit loverish. There's something loverish going on. And Mia, she's just tickled. She's like, in the confessional, she's like a baby. She might have to be fed and I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know. But, oh my gosh, when Jacqueline is walking around trying to find that room, she don't have one. Okay. So they go down to find JC's room, and we found out that JC has been relegated to the children's room along with Stacy. And it's a big room, and it has three sets of bunk beds in it. And at first JC's a little like, what? No, it was Kerner. Kerner was in her room. She's a little bit like, what? But then you know what? She gets cool with it. She's like, I'm going to push these two beds together. I'm going to push them right here. It's going to be one big bed, and I am going to be okay. And so I was like, way to handle it, because they're trying to make a scene when they do all that. And so the next time we see the ladies, they are actually having a snack or lunch around the table. They're running down their agenda. Giselle is explaining that she is, even though they just got there, that she's leaving that night, going back for an event for her daughters, as some kind of graduation event. I want to say it was their hoodie, their cap and gown ceremony. And then she's coming right back the next day. And that it makes no sense that why you would do that. Only thing that makes sense is, Giselle might be on probation. She might be on probation. They brought her into the HR department and gave her a work plan or coaching or whatever they said. They said, listen, you want to keep your job, you are going to have to come to work on time and clock in and do what you're told. And so it is very much given, I got to come to work now and act right. Otherwise, why are you doing that? And I'm not mad at her for acting right, acting like she got a job she want to keep, because you don't want to lose 2 checks in 1 year, because I'm sure those girls are about to be 18 and child support dries up when you're 18. And so she's like, I can't lose no 2 checks. So clock in. I'm not mad at you. We got to do what we all got to do to get by. While they're also at the table, they start talking about the follow-up conversation where, Jacqueline is upset that they think that she's a side chick. And I get why Jacqueline is upset. Went behind the fourth wall, right? Because if Jacqueline wants to be a housewife, she can't be seen as only being Mia's friend. She really got to be seen as somebody interested and on her own. So I get why Jacqueline does not want to be seen as just Mia's friend or the sidekick. She's never going to get to be a full-time housewife if that's what she's doing. But then she kind of gives too much, because JC is kind of teasing her. And I felt like JC was teasing her. Like she was saying, but I'm Mia's new side chick. I'm Mia's new sidekick. I'm going to be Mia's side. And it was almost, again, I thought it was kind of like she was teasing, like, I got your boo. I done took your boo. I took your boo. But Jacqueline does not like that. She does not like for people to play about Mia. And she didn't like when they were calling her the side chick or sidekick. And so she gives this speech, which felt prepared but not delivered well. About, I am giving, I have my own business, I'm this, I'm that, and look at me. And she jumps up and like, look at all this, look at this, and I'm like, oh, everybody was making faces. Everybody was making faces. It didn't do. We've seen that speech before, and you know what? I'm not seeing that speech ever come off well. So Jacqueline, that wasn't the move, girl. So anyway, she sits back down, and the grand dame, who is sitting at the head of the table, which I think she always positions herself that way, or maybe wherever she sits becomes the head. But anyway, the grand dame Karen says, Jacqueline, I want to have this conversation with you in front of everybody. And it felt very much like, come forward, come down to the front. We got a problem, ma'am. You are called into the principal's office, and we're going to put it on the mic. She tells Jacqueline, don't appreciate you lying about me. I've been a good friend to you. You called me with a problem, and then you tell everybody that when you was talking to me on the phone, you was drunk. You a whole lie, and I don't appreciate it. And she was going in now. She was going in. And Jacqueline was kind of shutting it down. I am not lying. Well, that's fine then. And Giselle tries to jump in, which Giselle, just mind your business. And she, well, no, I don't think she meant any malicious intent. Shut up, Giselle. Because Karen was like, you can get some too. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So Giselle piped down. But, Karen was giving her the business. And Jacqueline starts crying. Jacqueline tears up. You know what? Everybody's entitled to their feelings. And I know her feelings might have been hurt. But when you think back, only thing Karen said was, I've been a good friend to you. You lied on me. You a flipper. And I don't want no parts of you. Those are hurtful things. But it wasn't like she called her out. But she acted like she's about to start crying. And I'm thinking, Jacqueline, you cannot be a pot stirrer and out here telling lies and then cry easy. You can't do that. You can't. If you're gonna cry easy and be tenderhearted, then you need to, not talk about people. Because Karen was like, I don't care about your tears. Karen said, you cry all you want. And and then I had actually, Karen said something like, you can cry until the cows come on. Giselle had to tell her, calm down, pull back some. But I had wondered too about Jacqueline's tears. Because I said, again, Karen didn't, I don't know, to me, Karen didn't come that hard at her. She didn't come that hard. And so I wondered if maybe she's crying because she felt a little bad. Like when you haven't done right by somebody, right? I think we may have I know I've been there where I know I've messed up and I didn't do right by somebody. Because Karen said, I've been a good friend to you. And even in that moment, Karen didn't say, you called me about your old man cheating on you. She didn't even tell her story then. She didn't tell her business then. And Jacqueline never said she was lying. Jacqueline never said, I never called you for any help. You don't know what you're talking about. That has nothing to do with me. She never did that. Jacqueline never denied that she called her for assistance. And so I was wondering, could those tears be tears of, yeah, I done messed up. I did Karen wrong and I shouldn't have done that. But anyway, the ladies kind of move on. They're told to come dress for dinner because they're going to go on the boat and then they're going to have a nice dinner. And so now it's time to take Stacy to their room and they're all kind of, right? So they take Stacy down to the room and show her those bunk beds. And Stacy says, bunk beds. Yes, I've always wanted to sleep in bunk beds. And I get a roommate. My first girls trip, and I get to sleep on bunk beds, and I get a roommate. And then she tells Carmen, if I had to share a room with anybody, I'm glad to share it with you. I said, yes. See, that's how you do it, Stacy. That is how you do it. You don't let these people get your joy over some bunk beds. You ain't gonna beat up for 2 nights anyway. But that's what they were hoping. They was hoping to get her show all the way out and fuss. Why I gotta stay in here? How come I'm too big to sleep on these beds? No. She was like, nope, I can do it. And actually, it was given a little bit, just a smidge of, oh wow, I've never had to go low class like this, and I've always wanted to. I'm gonna do what the commoners do. I get to sleep like a commoner. Yes. But no, I was like, that's what I like Stacy. I don't care what they say. I don't think Stacy's boring. I think she's given exactly what she's supposed to be given. And I like that she did not have a whole moment of crying about these bunk beds. She was like, positivity and light. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be okay. So So we also see where Miss Stacy goes and sits down with Karen. And, she checks in on Karen because she's nice like that. And then she starts to share with Karen how um, she is, getting kind of concerned because they're coming close to the divorce work, paperwork, time to work on that. And they have to tell their daughter. They're going to have to tell their 8-year-old daughter that they are getting a divorce. And to me, it was almost like Karen was like, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Your daughter, she'll be fine. Tell her the truth. Tell her soon. But listen, Linda. The girls think you're boring. And so Stacy was like, "What? They got bored." Who said that? Yes, I want them to know you. Like I know you. I know you're fun, but might want to turn up a little bit. And you got to remember the ladies are living this, so they hadn't seen the cut yet. When they see this cut, they're probably gonna be like, "What?" She was giving off. So the next thing that we see is the ladies getting ready to go out on the boat, which I think is a platoon, I think it's called. And what I don't understand is when you go out on that kind of boat, usually people wear comfortable clothes on the boat, but they're dressed up in heels. They're kind of staggering down the steps. I'm like, you would at least put on some That's not what you wear. Is that what you do when you're rich? You dress up to go out on a platoon boat? But anyway, it's like, to me, that's like dressing up to go on a fishing boat. Like, what are y'all doing? But anyway, they all dressed up. They look gorgeous. They're out on the boat. And, they're riding along. Ladies are all in different clusters kind of talking. It's not that big of a boat, but they are conversations going on about each other, which I thought was kind of interesting. So in one corner, you have Stacy with Kiana and JC. And they are talking about how, the fight from the year before and how Kiana had to get an attorney. And, Ashley is just, she had to be a stone throw away. She had to be like in the corner right over there. And the camera pans over and she's acting like she don't hear him. I'm thinking, girl, I know they're talking loud to be heard over the motor and the water and the wind. But anyway, she's acting like she don't hear him. But Stacy somehow starts to talk about how, she's going through this divorce and how Ashley told all her business, but she heard that. Ashley heard that. Stop telling everybody that I told you business about you getting under a man. I didn't do that. And they kind of go back and forth a little bit, but it fizzes out because what is nothing? It's absolutely nothing. And I think even Giselle tried to jump in a little bit. Stop, Giselle. Stop trying to jump in. And just leave it alone. So the ladies kind of join in. And Mia is there talking about her relationship with Gordon again and how Gordon has bipolar and what it looks like he overspends. And she talks about how she got out of the marriage because she kept having to bail him out 3 times. She had to bail them out, and now she's kind of moved on. And you know what? People are feeling sympathetic for him. But you know what, sir? You married somebody that you had an arrangement with. You married somebody you had an agreement. So you left your wife and you married somebody that you had an agreement with. And the agreement was, I'll be your cake daddy if you be my sugar mama and I'll keep you up. And now she's having to keep you up. And that was not the agreement. So now she's out. Now we can't be upset about that now. We cannot be upset about that. But they show us a picture of them all spending New Year's Eve together. Mia with her husband and Ink and the kids. And I'm thinking, that's so weird. That is weird and confusing. Why would you? It's like, Jordan, what are you doing? Like, why? Why are you? Anyway, it's weird. I feel like there's something going on that they're not saying. They decide to, after the boat ride, they're heading up to dinner, and the dinner is very lovely. It's beautiful outside. They have a local chef there, Chef Kev. He's made some beautiful food for them. It looks delicious. They're getting ready to enjoy this wonderful food that's been prepared for them. And Giselle is like, you know what? Wendy told me to resolve this before her birthday, so I'm leaving in a little bit. So I'm gonna have to come for you now, Karen. Not when we finna eat the delicious looking food, but she brings it up to Karen about didn't appreciate her inviting the ladies to her event after she said she wouldn't. Karen stands there and tells a whole lie. Well, I told you I didn't know what date it was. Okay, that don't even sound like a good lie. You didn't know what date you was gonna get an award. But it don't matter because production came right behind her and showed a clip of her saying it's Friday and I'll be at both events. But anyway, Karen is like explaining that she didn't mean this and she didn't mean that. And they kind of squash it because, what was it anyway? I mean, was this really an event for you to raise money? I mean, yes, they did raise money, but they raised $15,000. I'm thinking y'all rich people. Poor people can get together and raise $15,000. And if you were so worried about raising money, you would have got those ladies when they came in. You would have guilted them into giving more money. Here you are late to my dad's event, and but that's okay. You can make it up to me by scanning this QR code and making a fat donation, and then you put them out. Then you say you can go now. You're free to go. But no, you put them out before they could even give a dime. And those three ladies right there, you probably missed out on about $5,000. But anyway, that they squashed that. Um, Oh, I forgot to mention, Mia had invited some good friends to come from that local area. And so they're all at the table. And she wants to have them introduce themselves by sharing how they know her and a funny story about her. And I'm thinking, what a way to make it about you. I got to remember to do that one time. But she's like, tell a funny story about me. And so the ladies introduce themselves. One of the lady tells them how she has been with Mia and hanging out with Karen and how what a great time they have. And what Karen doesn't know is that after they had that great time, and they always show pictures to show like, yeah, they were together. After we had that great time, Karen butt dialed them, but didn't realize that she had butt dialed Mia. And they heard Karen singing to somebody that was not her husband. Hey, those ladies think I am with Ray. And of course, Karen is acting like, I don't know what you're talking about. And part of me was like, oh no, I don't want to hear about Mr. Blue Eyes no more. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. No, I don't want that storyline no more. But that is where we end up. So, so far it was okay. Some interesting things happened. Love me some Stacy. I love the new girls, JC and Karen. I love them, love them. They were great. Giselle is clocking in. She said some funny stuff. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. She said some funny stuff. So if you're still here, I would greatly appreciate if you would like the video, if you would subscribe, if you would share. I would love it, love it, love it. Until next time, take care.